but it did. And so maybe until it hits home, we won't see the importance of what our governor is trying to get us to do. And as a city council,
I'm sorry, I have to interject and take objection to that.
Okay, Mayor, excuse me, could you let me finish?
My uncle passed away from this last week, and we buried him on Friday, so how dare you say that to me?
Wait a minute,
How dare you say that? We buried him last week.
Wait a minute, Mayor, don't holler at me, number one. Let us talk. Let us talk and let me have my opinion. Don't holler at me. I'm an adult just like you are. I respect you and I expect you to respect me. I'm trying to respect other people's feelings. I don't want us to have a shouting match. I just want to continue what I was trying to say. And if you allow me to do that, Mayor, I thank you. I thank you. And the others, you can disagree with me if you want. I'm not concerned about that. But I'd like to say what I want to say about this situation. Again, as I was starting to say, I think it will be good if we were able as a council to discuss it. That's all. I'm not saying that you have to agree with me or say I'm trying to insult someone. I made a statement that maybe, I don't know, maybe you said you buried somebody, I've buried several. And I just mentioned about the lady saying that today. You started shouting at me. So if we can continue, or if you don't want to discuss this, you have the right, Your Honor, to shut this down. So do what you have to do. But just make sure not only this meeting, any other meeting, don't you ever holler at me again and point your finger like you did.
Please don't ever disrespect my dead relatives then, ma'am.
Well, I wasn't disrespecting your dead relatives, anybody's relative. There's been a lot of relatives that passed. I wasn't disrespecting your dead relatives.
I apologize for raising my voice, Alderman Brown, but it's hard to sit and listen to things like that.
Well, it's hard for me to listen to things that other people have said, but I don't shout out at them like you did at me.
Well,
let's continue.
Well, in continuing, my question to you, you said that it's about money versus lives. That's not it for me at all. You said it's about freedom versus lives. It's not that for me at all. My question to you is, how do we care? How do those people that will be unable to work be able to feed themselves, their families, clothe themselves and their families, keep a roof over their head? My question to you, and the same one that I had to Alderman Dungeon, is that. And how much of your household income will you give up, and how many people can move in with you? Because that's literally the calls that I get every day, Alderman Brown. Every day I get people who are struggling to eat. Every day I get people who are struggling to pay bills. Every day I get calls from people that are about to be evicted from their homes.
I understand that, and there are agencies here in Danville that help with that.
And they don't have enough resources to pay for every person that would lose. We have hundreds of people that are employed by the restaurant industry, Mrs. Brown. What do we do for all those people?
I understand, but you know what? I do know, Mayor Williams, that there are agencies that, matter of fact, I just talked to one the other day, they still have funds to help people. They have funds to help people. If people would make use of these agencies, they could do that. So I'm not saying that if every restaurant was shut down, but I believe if we stop having this, then the number of people getting the COVID disease or virus, as it's called, I believe that we wouldn't be so long with people out of jobs either. So, you turn the coin over and look at it that way as well, Mayor.
You know, the agencies that can provide help, including us, they provide at most $1,250.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, how many months will that take care of you and your needs?
Mayor Williams, if that were me, I would go to the agency, do what I can. But you know what I believe? I believe that the sooner that we use this, we wouldn't have to use them as long if we would protect ourselves.
People have already been, some folks, for 9 months without work. How long is $1,250 supposed to carry them through the last 9 months?
But I don't believe, Mayor Williams, that these 9 months, that they've been employed for 9 months, there's ways that people can go and find other employment somewhere, do something, maybe not the job they had. And then with this to help them along the way. Yes, it's too bad. And if it happened to me, hey, I would just have to do like I'm saying some of these other people would have to do. And I'm not saying that I'm glad these people are out on this. I understand that that is a problem. It's a problem with our children going to school. It's a problem. It's just all over a problem. I understand that. I understand that. I have not said in any of my statements that how I felt if I was in that predicament. I would probably feel the same way. But we have to, I believe, if we make some kind of way to help stop this COVID from being so rapid, then the sooner we will be able to get back in the restaurant business or whatever business that we would have. And if the restaurants were open, if they would also seat people with social distance. I've been in two just to go get carryouts, and people are packed like sardines in there. There is no social distancing in some of the restaurants. So that's what I'm saying. I think if some of them would not have all these people jam-packed in there like sardines, then maybe the COVID wouldn't continue to happen like it's happening, is what I'm saying. And then people will be able to get back to their jobs if they're off for a while. But the longer we continue to do this, that you're going to have more and more and more. That's what I believe. And like you said, you've had people call. I've had discussions with people about, some disagreed with me as well. And that's okay. But this is what I believe, and what I'm saying. I think why I believe the governor did this is for the safety of the people, and that's why I say.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm finished. I have no more to say.
Why do you suppose the governor and his family don't follow their own legislation or their own guidelines that they put forward?
You'd have to ask the governor.
So it's so important that we do it, and it's critical that we do it, but that he and his family don't do it?
I cannot answer for the governor. You ask him, Mayor Williams. I'm just making a statement how I feel.
Sure. So my question, well, I want to make sure I let everyone else speak before I ask, but my question to all of you, but particularly to you and Alderman Dungeon, would be, what solutions do you have? I would ask that you think about this as I call the other people. What do you propose that the city of Danville do? Alderman Dungeon said that he proposes that we follow the mitigations completely, which would close down the restaurants and bars and entertainment centers. But then he said, no, we don't want to, we're not going to close those things down. I'm not recommending these things. So my question would be, which is it? And what would your recommendation for what we do moving forward? Chairman Foster.
Well, the mitigation, excuse me, since you asked me, sorry, Chairman Foster. I didn't say, I said I don't want to close down the restaurants and bars, but if that's the mitigation rules, yes, I think we should. But we don't have to close them down. They just have to follow the guidelines, no inside dining. I mean, why are we punishing McDonald's, Steak and Shake, all the restaurants that are following the mitigation rules, but letting other ones not follow them? That's what I don't like, the uneven playing field. And no, I don't want to close down the restaurants, but if the mitigation rules say do that, then close them down. Take away their liquor licenses, suspend their business licenses. No, we need to all follow the same rules. I think when we took an oath of office, we said we are going to follow the rules. And I think that, again, level playing field, I think, makes a huge difference. And I think the biggest thing we can do is have this discussion we're having right now. Finally, we're talking about it. Last month when I brought it up, Aaron's the only one who even talked to me about it. I disagreed with what he said. He disagreed with what I said. But at least Alderman Trollia spoke up. Thank you. That's what we need to do, is have this discussion. So our voters, our constituents, the people of Danville will call into us and tell us what they feel so we can represent them. But if we don't have these discussions, if we don't put it on the agenda, if we don't act like this is a concern to us, we're at fault. Having this discussion is the best thing we can do. I think we should have a citywide mask mandate. I think we should close down those restaurants. I think that will get the pandemic, at least in this area, under control quicker, and we can release those mitigations quicker. But that's not my decision. My decision is to follow the state's guidelines. And having this discussion, I think it's about the most important thing we can do. Sorry, Chairman Foster, if you want to speak now, I am done.
Well, a couple of things that you said, though. You said that we took an oath to follow the rules. No, sir, I took an oath to follow the law. There's a difference between a law and recommendations and guidelines that are recommended. There's a huge difference between the both. And my question to you would be, are you prepared to help us pay the lawsuits that we will receive from enforcing something that the courts have ruled does not have standing, that doesn't have legal standing?
No, that's why I have insurance as an no, that's why the city has insurance. No, I think the city should have a citywide mask mandate. I'll flat out stand on that. And I think we should follow all the mitigation rules set forth by our governor. If we're not legally able to take away their liquor license or business license, then no, we can't do that. But I sure think that would be, I would hope that would be something we can do, but I thoroughly understand I could be wrong on that hope. But I think we could have a citywide mask mandate. Lots of cities in Illinois do. I believe we could ask our citizens to follow the mitigation rules set forth by the state. I think we should continue to discuss this. I think we should act as people setting an example, and we haven't yet. And again, having this discussion is the best thing we can do.
I absolutely disagree with you about the example, but that's a matter of opinion. Yes, Chairman Foster.
Well, it's unfortunate that we have to go through this for at least my last meeting personally. You know, I don't like to see us, at such odds with each other. This started almost a year ago. I haven't changed my opinion about it. I think that for us talking about it is a big waste of time and energy because there's very little we can do about it. I've always been a one that's just to feel like that the things we need to do is our job and how to run this business properly and how to act on things we have a little bit more control over. There's very little control for us as a council to make any decisions to do anything about maps and stuff like that. And I don't really think that when I consider that, for an example, just the science of this, 1.7% they've traced to restaurants and things like that. 73% they traced to coming right out of the homes from the same families. That's a big difference. Now, maybe that point is a third way to look at it. In my opinion, they're overreacting on shutting down things because they don't even know the science and nobody knows for sure. And in the meantime, the mayor, you said it right, there's a lot of side damage that probably will exceed. We won't know for maybe a decade how much the pandemic exceeded the people not being able to work and losing homes and businesses. So it's kind of tragic, but there's not what I guess my summary is, because I want to say goodbye to y'all, but I want to say this. Let's try and make as much emphasis as we can on the things that we can do to help our city long-term and short-term. And I just feel like that the reason I didn't say anything last week is taking up so much time of debate, and there's so little we can do about it. If we all agreed on any one thing, I don't think it would change very much at all. So anyway, I wish you guys the best on this type of debates, but I think those that are passing out are wise to move on because we've heard both opinions. The opinion that I gave Brenda Brown, my friend Brenda, is the same one I have now. I still think it's political, and all you got to do is look where it's being done, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Chairman Ford.
Thank you, Mayor. I support your decision. We live in a country where we do have freedoms, freedom of choice. I think the best thing we can do as aldermen is to lead by example as far as wearing a mask when we're in public, social distancing, not going into large gatherings. I think New Zealand today announced they actually have 0 COVID cases because they actually shut down the whole country. Australia did the same thing. We do know that not gathering, wearing masks, and just being and using common sense helps with this. I do give you my condolences on the loss of your relatives, and then anyone in this city who has lost their relatives. I've lost several friends as well. I think we just need to lead by example. I would love to see people wearing masks, even in stores that mandate requiring a mask. You still have people not wearing them. And there's really nothing, there's so many loopholes in these mandates. If you have a doctor's note saying you don't need or you can't wear a mask, then you're completely free not to do so. And unfortunately, most of those people are the ones that are hawking and or coughing and sneezing and everything else without a mask on. But I understand everybody's positions. I understand everybody's reasoning for their views. It's very unfortunate that wearing a mask was politicized. But I think we know they work. We know they save lives. We know they help stop the spread. Thank God there's a vaccine now, and another one coming in the next week that hopefully will help mitigate the spread of this terrible disease. And with that, I'll be quiet. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Does anyone else have any thoughts? Alderman, Vice Chairman McMahon.
Hi, Mayor. I just want to reiterate to everybody to make sure you're following your science. I hope I'm not freezing up. It says my internet connection is unstable. But if you read the reports that Marissa Rome sends us every day, we are qualifying for tier 2 mitigation now.
Yes,
Okay? Our numbers are going down.
that's
Okay.
right.
So I don't know what the governor is going to do about that, but our numbers are down. And thank you, Mr. Foster, for educating everybody on the numbers, because they did trace back 1.7% is happening in restaurants, bars, and outdoor activities. 74% of the spread is going on in people's homes. Okay.
Because they can't go out and eat at the restaurants, right?
96 or 97% of the deaths are people over 65 years old. We have to protect our elderly people. It's happening. It's running rampant in our nursing homes and our long-term care facilities and our congregated living facilities. That's where it's going on. And if you have somebody who is over 60 living in your home, then you need to take extra precaution and protect them. Okay. So the thing that we can do as a city council is to reiterate the facts. Make sure you wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Wear your mask, and don't stand on top of each other. Make sure that you properly social distance. I'm going to tell you that I eat out at least 3 times a week, and I go to the restaurants in Danville, and I have not seen one that was overcrowded. Some of them have plexiglass partitions between their booths. Some of them have taken more than half of their seating out, but I have not one time felt unsafe. I wear my mask in the door. I'm seated at my table with whoever I'm with. I take my mask off to eat. I put my mask back on. I go pay my bill and I leave. And everybody in the restaurant I see doing the same thing. Okay. Mr. Duncan, I went by the RE-store the other day. The parking lot was so full you couldn't even get in it. So, you know, everybody's trying to just make it. What we need to do as a council is make sure that people know the facts. When they call you on the phone, say, look, make sure you're washing your hands, make sure you stay away from large gatherings, wear your mask, and social distance. And that's how we are going to protect our people. That's the only way we're going to protect our people, because it's spreading in the homes, not outside the homes.
Thank you, Alderman McMahon.
Alderman Strabe being elected.
Yes, sir. Yes, go ahead, sir.
The only thing I can say is, you know, I agree with you. I agree with Ms. McMahon. I also agree with Mike Poore. Knowing that I too lost a member of the family. Before Thanksgiving, we buried her last week. The only thing I can continue to say is people are trying to do the best they can with what they've been thrown at, trying to make livelihood, like you said, to keep things as close as normal as can possibly be, such as getting a small paycheck or whatever. I understand that. But when you're you know, the main thing here again is wash your hands, wear your masks. And of all places, when I have to go to the store, and I don't go that very frequent, but you still got people that want to pile up right on top of you. And I think, you know, just please keep your distance. Please keep your distance. Believe me, when you lose somebody to this and you hear about it, it's a large void. So I think you've with the city. I would never entertain anything different than what we're doing. Whether it be a resolution, I would strictly say absolutely not. I'm not willing to go down that path. So thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Alderman Pickering.
Yes, what I would like to say is I agree with we need to lead by example. We need to follow the rules. So I think that's the best thing we can do. But you know, we also need to agree that we'll all disagree. I have family members, friends that disagree with how to contend with this. So I think that's something we're all going to have to live with, and just do our best and follow our rules, and just again do lead by example.
Thank you, Alderman Pickering. Any other comments on this? Alderman Bouchard.
Yeah.
And yes, Alderman, so nice to you as well. I'll call on you next, sir.
Yeah, you know, we have choices, you know, and it's our choice to go about the community however we want. Sharon and I have not been in a restaurant since this COVID has hit. I don't fear it, but I sure do, you know, do not deny it. It is real. I have tried my best to help with all the restaurants in the community. I've had so much carry out food. I kid my wife. She's such a great cook. I said, I hope you sure don't forget how to cook. But you know, we have choices, and my choice is I mask up when I go someplace. I wash my hands frequently. I social distance, and with God's help, so far we have both been healthy. I have lost some family members in Southern Illinois over this that at first made fun of me because they didn't think it was real. They thought I was silly for, you know, saying what I did about, you know, there was people, you know, that was getting sick, and finally it hit Southern Illinois, and it's just been devastating down there. I have lost about a dozen family members and friends all total. But I just, you know, we have choices, and that is my choice, you know, of how I live during this pandemic.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Pickering, did you have another comment, ma'am?
Nope, forgot to take my hand down. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Before we move on,
You got Stone there.
Stone, yes. Alderman Stone, I apologize. Thank you.
Mayor, I certainly, I understand everything that's been said here tonight. But I'm kind of reminded of a song back from the 70s that had this one line in it: "The way I live determines the way my people survive." And that's what we all need to look at. Really, I believe what we're looking at here, the elephant in the room, is a massive failure by our federal government. First of all, we've got look at how we compare to every other country in the world with the number of cases. Look at how we compare to every other country in the world with the number of deaths. And what we are dealing with here is a massive failure by our federal government. They really have let us down. What we have to do, and this is an education thing, and that's the number one error that the government has made, is they have not educated us. They bring up their line of experts, medical experts. These guys, they tell us things that are generally accepted knowledge. I mean, and it's been generally accepted knowledge for a long time that no one follows, or not no one follows, that not enough people follow. We have a phenomenal percentage of people that don't even own a mask, that social distancing has no meaning to them at all. So I think we have all failed from an education standpoint on this also. But the elephant in the room is the massive failure that we are stuck with by our federal government. That's it.
Thank you, Alderman Stone. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, well, I'd rather blame China than Washington. You know, nobody knows the science. Yeah, and I don't want you to think I'm indifferent. My wife and I wear the mask everywhere. We don't get out much for obvious reasons because we're more highly, many of us are getting up here. We have to be careful, but I just, I think the science shows that it's all out. Nobody really knows. The numbers I hear is America's one of the lowest, rates of death. And so it depends on who you're listening to and when you're listening, I guess. You get new numbers every night. Oh, but anyway, I hope maybe we can move on from this because I really do think that we're straining gnats, swallowing camels again, taking a lot of time to talk about something not much we can do about. So again, I get involved in an emotional issue, but it is a public health issue. There's no question about it. And I think most of us know what we should do. And for the people that don't sneeze all over you, and I've been in those situations, I know exactly what you're talking about. We'd have to just ask God to watch over us because there's, every village has an idiot.
Thanks, Chairman.
Yay, right on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. At this time, we will receive our petitions, communications, and audience comments. Madam Clerk, we do have some.
Yes, we do have some, Mayor. The first one is from Pat Keller, 1507 Crestview, regarding the COVID-19.
I want to thank the mayor for not enforcing the governor's illegitimate mandate to close restaurants and bars. I am 83 with COPD and congestive heart failure. I don't believe the governor or anyone else has the authority to close a business down. People have to make a living, and the last I knew, this was a free country. Thank you for listening, and please keep the businesses open.
Next, Jesse Roach of Danville regarding support for the mayor.
I am seeing social media posts asking people to sign petitions, call Springfield, and email this address to question why COVID restrictions are not being enforced in Vermilion County. I, however, am writing this in support of the mayor and Vermilion County officials. Businesses cannot be expected to shut down and maintain their livelihood and that of their employees. Thank you to the mayor and Vermilion County officials for staying within their constitutional authority and not interfering with businesses that choose to operate.
Next, Jill Tregalette of Danville regarding COVID-19.
Mayor Williams, thank you for everything you've done for the city of Danville. You truly are a good person. I don't understand why Julie Carlson and Dan Duncan feel the need to meddle in people's lives. Anyone with half a brain knows if you're worried about COVID, you stay home. I can't comment on Julie Carlson as I don't know her, but we all know Dan Duncan loves to promote himself. He's more of a seize the moment when it benefits him kind of person. He would fit right in Chicago. Just know there are many people who appreciate and support you. You're doing a great job.
Debbie Manning of Danville regarding COVID-19.
She sent two emails, Madam Clerk. I support local business. If Walmart, Lowe's, County Market can be open, local businesses can be too. Stay safe and wear a mask. Sanitize often. Wash your own hands. Keep your distance. If you are feeling unwell, stay at home. And if you are concerned, stay home or order online. Enough is enough. I stand with our mayor. They have to stay open to survive. Leave them alone. I stand with the mayor. Don't kill the small businesses. If people don't want to go, they can stay home. I have COPD and so does my husband. I am responsible for myself. Wash hands, mask. Leave the bar and restaurant owners alone. Both from Debbie Manning.
Andrea Byram of Danville regarding Danville's restaurants and businesses.
Keep Danville's restaurants and businesses open. No more lockdowns. Keep up the good work, Mayor Williams.
Bethany Haggard of 917 North Walnut Street of Danville regarding COVID-19.
I write today to thank Mayor Williams, the City Council, local law enforcement, and the local health and safety officials for their continued support of the Danville community, economy, and especially locally owned business. I thank you for supporting local business owners, our friends and neighbors, as they have navigated with careful consideration how to operate safely in a way that continues to provide valuable service to our community, much needed employment to families, and long-term investment in Danville's future. Thank you for recognizing that your primary responsibility as our community leaders is to enforce only valid ordinances, regulations, and laws, ultimately to ensure that Danville continues to honor, defend, and protect the constitutions of the state of Illinois and of the United States. Thank you for not burdening Danville with the unnecessary expense of lawsuits to determine what is already well settled and well known. The emergency powers of the governor do not give him the authority to legislate through executive order. The Illinois Public Health Code provides specific conditions under which a crisis of public health mandates the closing of any business, and it provides specific procedures which must be followed to give business owners due process before a court order can be issued requiring the business to close. Fear mongering aside, those conditions are not present, nor are those procedures warranted. At this time, and I say, thankfully, our local and health and safety officials know it. The wisdom and process of this mayor, council, and local leaders give us all reason to be confident for the bright future of Danville. As the community continues to support each other by protecting the investment local business owners have poured into the city, we can move forward into that future stronger together. Deputy Officer, Attorney.
Teresa Hard of Danville regarding the possible closing of restaurants.
I heard this topic of closing restaurants is on the table tomorrow. Let these places remain open. We will face more poverty and more unemployed, lose more business. The CDC indicated 1.1% of cases came from restaurants and bars. 78% are from people gathering in their homes. And please, let's not go there to stop that. Thanks for listening.
Mary Speed of Danville regarding restaurants.
To the mayor and city council, my comments are in regard to the petition by concerned citizens of Danville regarding all restaurants to be closed to in-person dining. I strongly object to this petition. The restaurants I have patronized have followed the masking and spacing guidelines for in-person dining. I am 67 and I have already had COVID with very mild symptoms and no residual effects. I know exactly when and where I got it, and I got it from a grocery store. Are we going to close grocery stores and the big box stores? I do not see them closing. This petition is ridiculous and is driven by fear. The people who are concerned need to stay home out of those restaurants. If their family members choose to enter those restaurants, they need to avoid their family members. My son and my friend are nurses, and yes, they are very busy, but they are not afraid to go into dine-in restaurants. I trust the city council to have a backbone and continue to allow these businesses to remain open as dine-in restaurants. If they are not complying with the safety requirements, then ticket, fine, and or close them. But do not shut everyone down and deny them the ability to support their families, employees, because of a few concerned citizens. Thank you for your consideration in this matter.
Mary Ingold of Danville regarding the restaurants.
As a lifelong citizen of Danville, I would like to thank you for the difficult job you are doing, for seeing the whole picture, our safety, our local owned business, and our community. We can stay open safely and people can make their choice. Thank you for giving local Danville business a chance to survive. I stand with you and will continue to pray for you.
Gary Ingold of 516 Monterey Street regarding the restaurants.
I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your support of local workers and businesses during this long pandemic we've been enduring. I further ask you resist the efforts of Governor Pritzker to impose unconstitutional restrictions upon these local workers and businesses, restrictions that are clearly outside of his executive authority. I believe the best approach to keeping the most vulnerable people safe during this virus threat is to maximize information on preventative measures. At this time, I believe we should also maximize freedom of personal choice, allowing people to make their own best judgments and to take the level of risk that they are personally comfortable with. Our nation and our own city have been severely damaged economically by the overabundant caution and excessive blame avoidance of our elected leaders. It's enough. We are a free nation and we need to start reclaiming that freedom.
Lisa Lovelace, 1211 North Franklin Street, regarding keeping businesses open.
Dear Mayor and Council members, Danville businesses must stay open in order to survive. Lockdowns and enforcement of unlawful state mandates threaten the livelihood of Danville business owners and employees. As a citizen, I can choose whether or not I patronize an open business. It's called freedom. I understand that a group calling themselves Concerned Citizens of Danville have filed a change.org petition that asks you to enforce draconian mandates. I oppose that petition and I ask that you oppose it also. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and like-minded council members for recognizing that in order for Danville to thrive, businesses must thrive.
Jill Price, supporting Danville businesses and restaurants.
I totally support our Mayor, Ricky Williams, in his effort to keep Danville restaurant opens. I applaud his commitment to Danville and his work toward helping Danville thrive. Thank you.
Julie Carlson, 27 Logan Terrace 3, regarding COVID-19.
I am concerned about the failure of many businesses to follow state mandates and the lack of a unified voice and action from the city to follow through with enforcement when the mandates are violated. You were elected as mayor and city council to keep our city safe. We are asking you to do just that. Thank you, Alderman Dan Duncan, for taking a stand by speaking on the record about the large numbers of patrons in some local restaurants, the lack of social distancing inside, and the danger this causes the entire community. In my observation, there is a great deal of focus on dining indoors at restaurants. Some restaurants and small businesses are doing their human best to offer service that respects the mitigations. Let's support them from the state. Let's support them mightily with our purchases and tips where applicable. We need to make sure every business is assisted to apply for the state and federal grants. There is money left in a few applications from Vermilion County and few applications from Vermilion County. Unfortunately, some businesses have made it clear that they will make no effort to place public safety before profit. I have seen images posted to social media that depict instances of bars and open buffets with no social distancing or masks. Our community needs a path forward that includes both education about COVID prevention and accountability for choices that create a public safety risk. Accountability is key while it may be tough to implement on the individual, accountability is key, and while it may be tough to implement on the individual level, it is within a reasonable scope on the business level. This is about the collective risk to us all. This isn't an attack on freedom or small businesses. I truly believe we have an opportunity to find common ground that addresses both COVID spread prevention and concerns such as small business survival, housing, and financial insecurity. It takes some effort, but it is entirely possible. We must work together as healthcare experts, government leadership, and business owners to identify a path forward that minimizes the risk of spread and helps our Vermilion County community both survive and thrive. Challenge, develop a COVID-19 task force. Countywide partnership from the Vermilion County Health Department, Vermilion Advantage, City and County Leadership, Create Seniors, Crosspoint, Vermilion County Landlords Association. Purpose, assess where we are, identify and reach agreement on opportunities to minimize COVID spread, seek community input, take action within the scope of available authority, and adjust course as needed.
Jamie Goach of Danville, regarding restrictions.
My name is Jamie Gooch. I have lived in Danville all my life. That's not true. I have seen a lot of these changes, some good and some bad. I know it's not safe as it was 30 years ago. I used to ride my bike from VAC to Dairy Queen on Main Street. I am ashamed of who we have represents the city right now, Mayor Ricky Williams Jr. The governor put some mitigations for us to save lives, not to make everyone mad. The mayor has referred to the governor as Herr Führer. I am German from both sides. It offended me because my great-grandparents came on a boat to Ellis Island. I'm sure if they were alive, they would tell you these restrictions are nothing compared to what they endured. Mayor Williams has also been rude in replying to my emails I have sent. I still have email records. Great, because I do as well. I have emailed everyone I can think of and no answer. I emailed my councilman, Mike O'Kane, multiple times and no response. Why is it so hard to have a mask mandate? My fiance, his 90-year-old mother, and I have compromised immune systems. The mayor told us to stay home. Well, that would be okay, but his mom has dialysis 3 days a week. I just lost a brother-in-law in October and another last month because of this. Why are you playing with people's lives? Why can't the indoor dining rule be enforced like Champaign County? Oh, because Mayor Williams and the city council won't enforce it in full food permits. I was told the mitigations were illegal. If they are illegal, why did the courts dismiss all the lawsuits? I think it's absolutely disgusting that a city council member is offering to pay fines to defy the governor's order. The president just got voted out because he acted just our city government is. These recent actions and inaction of the mayor and council have made my decision easier for next election. Frankly, the ones that don't wear masks or refuse should be fined and made to stay home. This is not the face I want to see representing Danville. Please do something.
Mary Catherine Roberson, 1434 and a half North Walnut, regarding COVID-19 and restrictions.
Dear Mayor and Council, I am writing with concern regarding the lack of compliance with COVID-19 mitigation guidelines. It is evident when you were out and about in Danville that there are a large number of businesses failing to follow the governor's mandates. I am aware of the politicization of this issue. I am also aware that it is a huge burden for local business owners to reduce their services at this time. I would like to see more resources shared with businesses on how to qualify for grants and funding to support them through any closures. I would recommend ordering takeout or curbside pickup to support businesses with closed dining rooms if you are financially able. But I do not understand how our government officials can condone continuing to host indoor dining and open bars at a time when our COVID-19 cases climb daily. I was appalled that Alderman Trolley has offered to pay fines for businesses that are sanctioned for refusing to close. Why doesn't he instead offer to pay rent and living for those in the service industry unable to pay their bills? Is this political statement against the governor more important than saving lives while providing support to those unable to work? Being a leader means doing what is right and safe for our constituency, even if it isn't popular. Being a leader means identifying resources to keep people and businesses afloat during this pandemic. Leadership is not encouraging the community to continue on with business as usual while the community is being ravaged by COVID-19. I ask that you all encourage local businesses to comply with the governor's mandate.
Stephen Green, 3511 Cambridge Court, Unit 103 of Danville, regarding Governor Pritzker's COVID-19 emergency mandates.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a citizen of this city and the state of Danville and the state of Illinois, I am given rights under the Constitution, the United States Constitution, and the Constitution of the state of Illinois. With my rights come responsibility. I was always taught and believe my rights come to and end where the next person's rights begin. It has been determined that Governor Pritzker has exceeded his authority of use of emergency powers and that his emergency powers only have force of law for 30 days. Anything beyond this time frame to be enforceable must come through the state legislature. I applaud you for respecting the rights of each individual in this community. Each business owner has made his choice as to whether or not to stay open or not once we were allowed to do so. I would like to point out that as individuals, we each make a decision to patronize or not patronize the establishments that have chosen to stay open. No one is being forced to go into a restaurant for a meal. If anyone is as concerned for health and well-being of the community as those who are trying to force you to enforce the governor's recommendations, they have the right to not patronize the open establishment. Those who choose to patronize such establishments make the choice to do so, accepting the risk to do so. I would also bring to your attention that those of the establishment that are open are doing so in order to survive. It has been an extremely tough year for all of us. Remember, with the first closure, this community lost Papa Murphy's Pizza, which did not have inside dining. How many more people are we willing to displace from Danville?
Meg Zott of Danville regarding COVID-19.
Good afternoon. Writing to you as a concerned citizen about the impact COVID-19 is having on our town and my family, as I have now had the virus twice within 7 months. Both times I was exposed by family members that live in my household. We are vulnerable to the disease because we are essential workers with children that need care outside of the home due to the nature of our work and the risk factors that lie with those local family members that would otherwise be able to care for the children. The fact that so many residents, businesses, and elected officials are flouting the reasonable restrictions given to us by our health department is frankly offensive. We are no longer a community that cares about its neighbors and only thinks about being selfish. Lack of support from our government has contributed to this, yes, but the lazy attitude from our local officials only deepens the effect. Support the efforts of our health workers, health departments, and epidemiologists would help further the education of the masses and slow the spread with knowledge. Far too many people have seen officials from the top down call this a hoax, of which it is decidedly not. When the masses see that those in charge of running our towns and country don't care, why should they care about their neighbors? Thank you, Alderman Dan Johnson, for taking a stand by speaking on the record about the large number of patrons in some local restaurants, the lack of social distancing inside, and the danger this causes the entire community. You were elected as mayor and council to keep our city safe. We are asking you to do just that. Signed, a Danville citizen that is over it.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We do not have any zoning petitions this evening. However, item 9 is an approval of payrolls for December 4th and 11th of 2020. Is there a motion to do so?
Move.
Second, Stone.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Alderman McMahon. Alderman McMahon, I think you're muted. Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Davis. Alderman Davis. Alderman Dutchin.
Yes.
Bouchard.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Troya.
Yes.
Pickering.
Yes.
O'Kane.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Reading.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
I lost my, for a while, so, yeah.
Okay, we can hear you. Foster,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Poor,
Yes.
thank you. Foster, you said
Yes.
yes?
Yes,
Okay.
again.
Alderman McMahon, can you hear us?
Yes, but my internet connection is going in and out, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. Did you want to vote yes on the payrolls?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Thank you. 13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. Item 10 is approval of vouchers payable for December 8th and 15th, as well as a special one from December 5th. Is there a motion to approve those?
So approved.
Stone, so moved. Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate?
Yes, Mayor, Alderman Dungeon.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not on this. I want to thank everyone for the discussion. That's what I think is important, and I think we need to continue to do that. And I've just been notified I'm going to have to leave, so I'm going to ask to be excused. But please, thank you all for the people who called in, and thank you all my fellow councilmen, and thank you, Mayor. The discussion was very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Dungeon, Pashard,
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Proya,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Reading,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
Van,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. At this time, we will receive the Public Works Committee report. Chairman Ford.
Thank you, Mayor. 11A is a resolution awarding bid number 664 for the purchase and installation of a reconditioned transit engine. Move to dispense reading as for your approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Dungeon, Pashard,
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Proya,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Reading,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
There's no objection. I'd like to take B and C together. They're both deal with the Laurel Fellowship House. 11B is a resolution approving the utilization of the CDBG public facility funds for the Laurel Fellowship House rehabilitation at 12 East William Street. C is a resolution awarding bid number 663 for rehabilitation of Laurel Fellowship House at 212 East William Street. Again, no, if there's no objection, I move to dispense reading as for your approval.
I'll second Alderman Strubing.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate?
I have, Your Honor, I have one.
Yes, Alderman Davis.
We're talking about the bid for the fellowship house, is that right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
I've gotten a few calls about that. And the calls I've gotten was, has anyone in the area, any outfits in the area bidded on this? That's what I'd like to know.
No, Alderman, we only received one bid and it was not from anyone in Vermilion County. Alderman, did you have any further questions? Alderman Davis?
I'll put it this way. Your Honor, maybe I didn't really hear you clear, and you can, overlook me on that one if you would. Can you tell me how many bids were sent in on this?
Yes, Alderman, we only received one bid and it was from someone not in Vermilion County.
So none from Vermilion County or Danville?
No, sir.
No
No.
bids?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thanks, Alderman. Any other questions or comments?
Yes, Mayor, I think it's the right thing to do what we're doing over there. They've been tremendous loyalties to the whole community for many years. I've been there on more than one occasion to meetings, and it's a nice location, and it's well run, and they deserve. And I hope in the future the cities will take a close look at these type of organizations when they need help of this nature, that keep them in business, because they rely on donations and grants, and used to be United Way. But anyway, I'm glad what you're doing about them, and I think we should always be aware or alert to using these CDB funds in this manner when it's possible.
Thank you,
Mayor, if I
Chairman.
may,
Yes, sir, member.
the contractor actually lowered their bid and came up with some cost-saving measures as well for this project. So they seem very capable and very willing to work with Laura Lee.
Yes.
Mayor, I'd like to have a word
Yes,
to say on that. I would just like to say that kind of go along with Alderman Davis asking, and it's unusual for to hear this, that you have no one from your community that are contractors to take a bid on this. I don't know what the reasoning was. I did see where Logan said some of them said they were too busy, didn't have the time, and some just didn't want to. But whatever the reason, I'd like to see, I'd like to use local businesses. Like we said, we try to support, but I think they should try to support and at least put in a bid for these things. And it's sorry, I'm just saying that it's sorry that they didn't. Laura Lee has served this community for years. Do a good job. And on the voting process, I will be again abstaining from this as I do serve on the board.
Thank you, Alderman Brown. That's duly noted. Alderman O'Kane.
Well, I did reach out to one contractor that I work with on occasion and ask him about it. And he does work for the city on occasion. And he said he was not aware of it. He said he did apologize that he does not get on the city website and look all the time for the work coming. I think we should proceed with this bid. It's a good project to get going. But in the future, we have any contracts, let's say $100,000 or more, I think the local contractors ought to get some kind of email or something just to make them aware that there is work to be bid on a timely basis. That's all.
Thank you, Alderman O'Kane. Manager Cronk, I do believe that we do send out a notice to local contractors when we, or is that only on bids over a certain threshold normally?
Yeah, without getting into the bid process and the legality of it in total, I do believe that focusing on certain contractors, whether that be local or not, may be against the law of bid or against our policy, at least. Corporation Counsel Mockby, do you have any opinion on that?
No, I don't have information specifically on that, but it does sound something that you probably shouldn't do. You want to be fair to the entire available options. So, but that may be something you want to look into a little bit more in the future.
If I can add, I did pull the entire inquiry list for all the contractors that looked at the bid documents. We did receive 11 contractors total that pulled the documents, and 7 of those were local contractors.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks,
Logan, this is Alderman Streaming. How about notification maybe in the paper, like the Housing Authority does for projects that are over a certain amount of money?
Yeah, I think that's definitely doable.
Thank you.
We'll look into that, Alderman Street. Thank you. Any further discussion or debate? Alderman Bouchard, yes, sir.
Yes, I agree with Alderman O'Kane and Alderman Streaming. We need to make sure that it is allowed to be out there long enough for all of our local construction companies are aware of it. It is best policy for the locals to get it. But I've been trying to get someone to build a little shed on my property for over 2 months, and nobody will return my calls. And so, I mean, they say they're out of work, they're looking for work, but I mean, it's odd that happens. But one of my other questions is, I noticed that Laura Lee Fellowship probably been broken into twice this year so far. Is there any other way to secure that property any better? I see there is a video camera, but what is there to gain for them to break into that facility?
Honestly,
Mayor, may I say something to that?
yes, ma'am, certainly.
Okay, Alderman Pritchard, yes, it was, and we did see the video on that, or the clipping of it, or whatever. We found out who it is, and I believe that person, well, we do know that the person was caught, because we did get a picture, and then someone came forth that lives close by and told us who it was.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we try to secure, but they come and they broke windows out. You know,
Oh, I
so,
see.
Yeah, so that's what they did. They weren't able to come through the doors, but they broke windows out.
Okay. I didn't know what access they had to get inside. I never thought about the window part. Okay. Thank you, Alderman Brown.
Thanks, Alderman Brown. That's definitely useful. Alderman Pritchard, the windows are on that are lower such that I can probably lean like this and have, if I weren't so fat, have myself up and get into the window. So
I agree, Mayor. I know what you're talking about.
Chairman Poor.
Yeah, and I'd just like to follow up with what Logan said. He did receive 11 inquiries into this bid. 7 were local, but none of those did return a final bid to do the project. So there was opportunity for local and Vermilion County to do it.
Well, I'd like to state that this is more insight than we had last week when we talked about this, when we didn't have any idea why somebody didn't. So thank you again, Logan, for getting some of that information for us.
Thank you. Any further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Dungeon, Pritchard,
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Strebe,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Brown,
Abstain?
Davis,
Alderman Davis, could you repeat your vote, please?
I just said that's sustained.
Sustain.
Abstain means.
Okay.
11 yes.
11 yes, the motion carries.
11D is a resolution accepting a quote for the pump station monitoring equipment and installation. This was discussed in Public Works. It's the same company that currently monitors our station. This will just be bringing in line the stations that we took over from Danville Sanitary. So move to suspend 3 and ask for your approval.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Pritchard,
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Strebe,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries.
11E is an ordinance approving the purchase of 916 to 918 North Vermilion Street for community improvements. Again, this was discussed in length at the Public Works Committee. This is the land north of the property that was, the oil change place, the pump in the middle, and Gulick Pharmacy. So this is the 2 piece of property to the north of that. So that'll make that whole area contingent piece of property. So having explained that, move to dispense 3 and ask for your approval.
Second, Stone.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate?
Yes, Mayor, if I could, this is McMahon. Alderman Poor, you said this is the property that's north
Of where Gulick Pharmacy was.
Sharon, it's that, I'm sorry, Alderman McMahon, it's that bad house that was Osley and Associates Law Offices, as well as the empty lot that adjoins that to the north. Oh,
I think we lost her.
Yeah. Any further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Stone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Streebing,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
McMahon, Brown,
Yes.
Davis. Alderman
McMahon.
Davis,
Alderman is back.
Dungeon Pritchard,
Yes.
Alderman McMahon,
Yes.
12 yes.
12 yes, the motion carries.
7F items of information. I'm not sure if Director Carpenter or Engineer Cole have anything. Maybe an update on the Northwest Sewer Project.
I'll let Sam take that. All I've seen him do was move the barge today.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, so obviously the contractor's out there. If you live west of the lake, you definitely know that, as there is approximately a 3.5 minute delay for you to get across there right now. The project's underway. They've removed guardrail and started doing some earthwork, and we'll be working through the winter on bridge construction, widening the causeway out there, and moving forward with the project. So excited to get that one underway. And we are currently the road construction phase of that project, which as you might recall is a separate bid, is posted for bid with IDOT now. They are administering the bidding process for that one. And we will be opening bids in mid-January on that phase.
Great.
So,
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
I watched them putting the rebar, making big circles for probably the pilasters, the pillars they're going to be putting in. Pretty interesting. But I know the first day they started that was probably the coldest day we've had this year. And the poor guys are out there on the bridge, putting the concrete barriers down and shaking.
Yeah.
All right, Mayor, that concludes my report.
Chairman, I have one item for you under this, if I may, just to speak to the property acquisition. Logan and I had meetings today with potential developers, and we also have a meeting scheduled Friday with additional potential developers. So we might be going from nothing happening to people competing over the various lots at the intersection of Vermilion and Fairchild. So that's definitely a good thing for the community, and all the different things that they're proposing and considering are things that you and more importantly, our people would absolutely love and be good for the quality of life here. So we're going to keep plugging away. So pray that the best projects will come forward first.
And then going on with some improvement, we have a new owners of North Logan Healthcare, Accolade, and I believe Sam and I and maybe Logan might be meeting with them. I believe Thursday morning we're going to meet. They're talking about improvements in that area. I just want some guidance on how to do it and about cost sharing. So another good project.
We also have a couple of other project inquiries and purchases that have been made that give us a lot of excitement for the possibilities of the things that they've raised. So let's just continue to be diligent, show the people of Danville that we're good stewards. And I think if we continue to build it and build a good rapport with each other and with our citizens and with our businesses, and we're good stewards of everything that the Lord has given us, I really believe we'll continue to thrive. So thank you all for all of your efforts with all these things. Thank you, Chairman. I apologize for going on.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, we will now receive the Public Services Committee report. Chairman for the last time, Chairman Foster.
And what a time to be the last. If you look at the bottom of my agenda here, it's where we are. And then when I turn it over, it jumps to 13. So Vice Chairman McMahon, do you have the agenda in front of you? Because I'd like to officially turn on the gavel tonight because I don't have a meeting next week.
So So Chairman, so Vice Chairman, next month, Madam, it'll be Madam Chairman.
Yes, and I said she can make the report if she has the thing, because I don't have it. It didn't print out.
I do not have it, Chairman. I do not have it in front of me. I had to move to another room in the house to get my internet.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think there were 2 approvals. Does anybody have it in front of them?
I can fill in for you, Chairman Foster. The Public Services Committee report, item 12A is the city clerk's report for the approval of licenses. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading and for their approval? And moved by Chairman Foster. And
yes.
Was there a second?
Brown. Richard.
Second by Alderman Brown. Any discussion or debate? Same sign. Thank you. Item 12B is to accept a motion to accept and place on file the treasurer's report for August 2020. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading and for its approval?
So moved.
Second.
And moved by Chairman Foster and seconded by Alderman O'Kane. Any discussion or debate?
Yeah, I guess it's coming sooner. I've got something today, so maybe we have the reports.
Okay. Thanks, Chairman. All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Thank you very much. Do any of the department heads have any items of under public services have any items of information for the good of the cause? Thank you. Chairman, that concludes your report.
Well, what a conclusion. Almost 28 years, but anyway. So you'll be running the show, and the only thing I could advise you on is to, I think friendly debates are good, but sometimes we get to areas which by evidence gets so many replies. I haven't seen this many. Duncan mentioned he never got so many emails, not emails, but phone calls. Well, I've never seen so many emails that came today. I got about half of what you read, Mayor. So I know that in this community, there's people of many sides. So it's very difficult for us to make decisions as it is about things that we do have authority over. But when there's so little we can do about an issue, I just don't want to see you people get into this debate. This thing could go on for another 6 months. Everybody knows where everybody stands. Common sense is the answer. Percentages really mean nothing to people that have lost somebody, but so I can understand that too. But having said that, I just hope you all can continue to get along and work together, and I wish you the best, Godspeed for the next year. And I may come back from time to time, if they ever open it up again, to say hello and give me my 3 minutes worth in 5 minutes, and hopefully Mary will be there. But thank you very much. It's been a great ride. And to my committee, I want to personally give them a thanks to everybody on the Public Services Committee. And RJ Duncan's not here, but I appreciate all of your help. And my last advice is you ought to try and get together pretty soon and decide who's going to be the vice chair in charge of vice, because it's I don't know how you're going to do it, Mayor, but 3 of the people on that committee are going to be new people. Yeah. Because I'm not running, RJ is not running, and Duncan's leaving. So you want to make sure that you take them under your wing and show them what's going on, Sharon and everybody that can help you. And unless the mayor mixes them up and brings some public works people across, but we'll see what happens next after the election. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And I want to wish you a great Christmas, a great New Year, and I hope a really terrific 2021 for all of you. I love you all. It's been great, and the staff too. I see Sanders there, so long, Sanders.
Thank you, Chairman Foster. Chairman Poole.
Bye, Steve.
Chairman Foster, I just want to say it's been a pleasure knowing you for over 25 years and working with you for over 20 years. I wish you well. I hope you get that book written. I do want a copy, but
oh, you won't like it, Mike.
Oh, sure I will. I may not read it, but I like it. No, but it's Steve, it's been an honor to be a chairman alongside you, and I wish you the best and good luck in your new endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Poor. I do apologize, but we do have a need for a closed session. I do anticipate it will be brief to the public. We do have 2 items that we will be voting on after closed session. So please, if you wish to hear those, you're welcome to make sure you stay on, and we'll open the feedback again after we finish our closed session. At this time, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session under section TC1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss specific employees.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Streeting,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hutchin, Bouchard,
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. We are adjourned to closed session. Please give us just a moment to discontinue the live feed. Yeah, he's gonna start it. And I believe in lock the meeting. He's good. At this time, I would entertain a motion to return to open session.
Or so move.
Second, Bouchard.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We have returned to open session. Item 13A is an ordinance amending the wage administration chart. I would ask approval.
Alderman Straubing, I will make the motion.
Or second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Troya,
Yes.
Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Strebe,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Duncan, Bouchard,
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. Item 14 is the approval of the annual budget for fiscal year 2021-2022. I would entertain a motion to suspend the reading and for its approval.
Alderman
so
Straubing,
moved.
I will second.
Been moved by Chairman Foster and seconded by Alderman Strebe. Any discussion or debate?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's a marvelous budget in that it's one of the least debated I can ever recall in, almost 3 decades. And it makes sense. And we did a lot of things we wanted to do in the budget. I think your whole team did a terrific job on it. I've already given my congratulations to Ashley for the work she's done. So I appreciate this is a good budget. That's why I'm happy to have made the motion to approve it for this year. And there's one last question that someone, who did you include in the budget? Because I forgot to look. Did you approving this budget include the higher amount that we could pay on the pensions? Higher than the actuarial minimum.
One of the pensions is yes, and one of them is no. Just because of the amount, we weren't able to do that. But one of them is the higher amount.
And the last question on that, when asked is, if we run into a crunch, can we back down for the one that we once we concede to the higher amount? Can we go back in the middle of the year, for an example, to amend the budget?
I wouldn't recommend it because that's what our levy is based off of. So that's what we're basing what we're taxing individuals off of is our amount. So
I'm always looking for extra money anywhere we can get it, or extra cuts are good. But I don't have to worry about that next month anyway. Thanks.
I have if it gets that desperate, I have other ideas.
Yeah.
Chairman Poor.
I'd also like to thank not only you, Mayor, but Ashlyn and all the department heads and staff that made this a very, very easy year to be able to pass our next fiscal budget.
Thank you, Chairman. Any further discussion or debate? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Pickering,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Strebe,
Absolutely, yes.
Poor,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Duncan, Bouchard,
Yes.
Stone,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Troya,
Yes.
13 yes.
13 yes, the motion carries. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for helping us to be transparent. Thank you for helping us to be good stewards. I remind myself all the time and my team, and we remind each other that this is not our money. This is the taxpayers' money, and we're using it to make their lives better. So I thank you for helping us provide a budget, which I truly believe will allow us to do that in the coming fiscal year. Thank you so much for your support. Are there any items of information for the good of the cause?
I would just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Amen.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Yes.
Vice Chair. Merry Christmas and
I
Happy New
would like
Year.
to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Alderman Brown.
And a safe
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Say, hallelujah. Please, for the love of God, wear your mask in public, wash your dang hands, and stay away from each other. Stay away from each other, please. Any other items of information for the good of the cause? I have just a couple. Number one, I want to let you know that I will be, City Hall and the city of Danville is closed next Thursday and Friday, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, as well as the following Thursday and Friday, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I am going to take a break those other 3 days each week, and thank the Lord, we're going to drive, me and Mama and Daddy, to see my sister in North Carolina. So we will not be stopping. We're doing an old school, you know how the old school days, we pack the cooler and lunch. We're packing everything with us. We will only stop to get gas and go to the bathroom and wash the mess out of our hands. So, a second thing that I want to say is, as you all know, unfortunately he's not on with us now, but he'll be able to hear these comments. Tonight was Mr. Mockby's last evening with us. Tomorrow he will be his last day with us. And then Friday he will be sworn in to be the Honorable Judge Charles Mockby IV. And I can't tell you how proud I am to have worked with him. He was honorable, he was earnest, he was hardworking, and we're very thankful for all the good work he did. And I just salute him for all the good things he did for the city. He was someone that everyone can count on, and we appreciate it much. Chairman Poor.
Yeah, Mayor, is he going to help at all with the interview process or anything, or?
As a judge, he cannot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He can maybe swear in his successor, but he won't be able to have it, give us any kind of advice. However, he has helped us update and revise our interview questions, as well as the situations that we present people with as they do, kind of tests of sort to apply for the job. So
he has been involved previous to him being sworn in tomorrow.
Absolutely, he helped us update the job description as well before it was even advertised. So I would like to let you know that in the interim, I hope that it will only be a month or 6 weeks at most, but in the interim, Mr. Wesner has agreed to help us out.
Okay.
I know that folks have various thoughts on that. The good thing is there will be no retainer. It will just be an hourly wage of $190 an hour. I wanted to make sure that I knew that you all knew that. He is capable of running our courts for us to make sure we don't get further behind in code enforcement, et cetera. So we will be using him for a few weeks to kind of limp us through.
Thank you.
Thank you. The last thing that I wanted to say is to my dear friend, Chairman Foster. You know, a lot of times we agree, and there have been times when we've disagreed. But one thing that I can say with a certainty is that you have always had the best interests of the people of Danville at heart, that you fought hard for them. You've sometimes given us wise counsel in difficult situations, and you have been a wonderful colleague and mentor, and also become a dear friend. So in that vein, I will miss serving with you greatly, and I thank you for everything that you've done for the last almost 30 years now for the people of Danville. You are to be commended. And when we are able to meet in person again, we will honor you appropriately at that time.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Mayor. And I do intend to stay busy with a couple of things in community. After 35 years, it's hard to sit around and not be able to go anywhere and vote yes or no on anything. So, I'm probably, I want to say one thing though, I feel very confident about the Danville's future. I think we're really going to prosper. I think we're going to pull out of this epidemic. And I don't know if I'm going to take the shot or not at my age. I'm afraid they'll give me something. But at any rate, I advise you all to take the shots, if you're out and around, whether you go to restaurants or not, take the shot. That's it, except, Mayor, if you get a chance during the holidays, I appreciate it. You give me a call since you're going to be on the road at your leisure. I'm home all the time now.
Yes, sir. Absolutely will do.
And thank you one and all.
Thank you, Steve.
Merry Merry.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Foster.
At this
God bless you.
Yes, God bless you. At this time, having satisfied the agenda, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and much safety. As a reminder to the public, wear your mask in public unless you are eating or drinking. Wear your mask. When you don't go out if you don't have to. If you can order your groceries, that's one less possible exposure that you have. Make sure you wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer as much as possible. And social distance when you do have to be in public. Make sure that you stay at least 6 feet away from folks. That way we can move as forward even more quickly than we are with decreasing rates. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Having satisfied the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And my dog is not voting tonight. Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe.
Yeah,
You
Merry
too.
Christmas, y'all.
Merry